Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of In the Word with Brother Charlie. And today we find ourselves in Mark chapter 8. And in Mark chapter 8, later in the chapter, we find Peter confessing Jesus as the Christ. When Jesus asked the question, who do others say I am? And who do you say I am? And we saw that in Matthew as well. But early on in the chapter, what we find Jesus again feeding the crowd, feeding thousands. And then after he feeds thousands, him and his disciples, they get into a boat and they're going to cross over. The Pharisees chase him down and they start to argue with him. And then him and his disciples move away. And as he and his disciples are moving away, Jesus says to his disciples this in verse 15. He says, "Watch out, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod." You see, in the Christian life, there are things that can trip us up. There are things that can absolutely derail our walk with Christ. And if we're not careful, it can happen to each and every one of us. And what Jesus points out here is there's two specific ways in which we can get led astray. I want you to notice he says, "Watch out, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees." And the leaven of the Pharisees is very simply stated, empty religion. We talked yesterday about religion and relationship and how God calls us to have a relationship with Christ rather than religion, because religion focuses on what I bring. A relationship focuses on what He gives us through His death, burial, and resurrection. And so we got to be careful in our walk not to be led astray by religion, about what we offer God, about what we do for God, and how we feel and what we want, because when we do that, then we become the center of our worship. But not only does he tell them to beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, but he also tells them to beware of the leaven of Herod. Because not only can we be led astray by chasing after empty religion, but we can also be led astray by chasing after the things of the world. And that's what Herod represents here. And so I want to encourage you in your walk with Christ. It is so easy for us to be so consumed with the things of this world that we forget to focus on the things of God. Remember, Jesus tells us to seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all of these things will be given unto us. And so I want to encourage you today to seek after Jesus, to seek after His kingdom, to seek after His glory, to serve Him. And as we do that, He'll take care of all the other things. Beware. Beware of the leaven of religion. Beware of the leaven of the world. Instead, consume the bread of life. Until tomorrow, have a blessed day.